Welcome to the Empowered and Abundant podcast, where we break free from the thoughts, patterns, and beliefs around money that keep you stuck, so you can step fully into a life of freedom and fulfillment. It's time to feel empowered when it comes to money, to take back control of your life, and to wield your money as a powerful tool to create the life and business of abundance you truly desire. I'm your host, Scarlett the Biz Hippie. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to the Empowered and Abundant podcast. It's Sunday when I'm recording this, and this morning I just finished making some sourdough bread. And this was my second week in the process of making sourdough bread. And last week was my first attempt, and the loaf came out totally overcooked and nearly burnt. And so this week I was trying it again, and I'm really excited about it. I'm writing everything down, I'm taking notes, and I'm really approaching this with the scientific method of how can I do this correctly? How can I do it well so it comes out good so that I can be a regular bread making person and set weekly bread schedules. So anyway, I'll have you know, today's loaf came out great. Oh my gosh, I crushed the cooking time, which is interesting because I shaved down the recipe by 15 minutes. That's why I overcooked it last time, because I was following the recipe. So anyway, I will let you know how next week's bread goes. I'm continuing to tweak it and try new methods, and next week I'm trying an even better sounding recipe. So that's the bread news. And I'm really excited for today's topic because today's topic is really at the foundation of the core abundance work that I do, that I teach you how to do. And it is digging deep into what creates scarcity in our lives. What creates lives that are lacking, lives that feel like there's not enough for us here, lives where we're living more in fear and we're feeling like we have to rush and we're overwhelmed and we're pushing and we have to change who we are. We have to do something different. We have to be better. We have to be different. We have to do something to be more successful. We have to do something to make more of this life. We have to do something and work hard to fight and survive and stay alive, right? And all this energy of not enoughness. And that is the core scarcity seed. It's not enoughness. And scarcity seeds, they are the beliefs about ourselves and the world around us that create how we live our lives, that create the results that we then get in those lives, what we attract, what we create, what our life really looks like when we take a step back and see how we are living, what we are choosing, what we are prioritizing. Is our life fulfilling? Do we feel filled up and enlivened by our life? Is there enough? Are we in the enoughness of our lives? Or are we in not enoughness, wishing that our lives were better, wondering why they're not, wishing that we were better, and wondering why we're not? This is the energy of not enoughness. And not enoughness bleeds into every aspect of your life. If you have a scarcity seed of not enoughness underneath who you are, underneath your identity, as a core mindset pattern and belief that I am not enough. There is not enough for me. Not good enough, not pretty enough, not healthy enough, not strong enough, not brave enough, not capable enough, not worthy enough, not deserving. There's not enough for me here. No one loves me. There's no attention. There's not enough for me here, okay? I have had not enoughness in my life for my whole entire life up until this point, where the layers and layers and layers of not enoughness are shedding, right? This belief, this thought of not enoughness, this reality of not enoughness, simply from being born a younger sister. Not enoughness has been implanted in my life from the moment that I was born simply by being born a younger sister, right? And being a younger sister for me pushed me to want more attention, right? To act in certain ways to get that attention because there's two of us, right? So time is split. And it's not a criticism on how I was raised or my mom or any of that at all, right? It's not even that. It's simply the circumstance of having another sibling and growing up feeling like there wasn't enough for me and that I wasn't enough, right? And so seeds, these scarcity seeds of not enoughness, can be implanted simply from existing, right? In this reality that we live in, there are so many opportunities where we can be taught not enoughness in our lives growing up, not worthiness, not enoughness. And it doesn't even have to be like traumatic or bad. It just is simply what we made those things mean as a kid, right? The moments when my mom did have to prioritize my older sibling. And that's okay. Like, that's her being a good mom. But as a kid, being like, what did I do wrong? Or it's so unfair. Like, no matter what I do, it's never good enough. Or like me trying to get attention and therefore being a pest. Okay. I was a pest as a kid. You might look at me and be like, oh, Scarlett, she's so nice, or whatever you think about me. And listen, I was that kid throwing temper tantrums in the Walmart. Okay. Oh my gosh, that was a detour. Right? Not enoughness can be seeded into our existence growing up. And what's interesting is, and important to know, is that this not enoughness is just that. It's a seed. It was planted, and we've been nurturing it and growing it. We've been believing these beliefs, these ideas of not enoughness our whole life, and we've created a flourishing environment rooted from the seeds of not enoughness, right? And it's thriving. It's like a forest, right? It feels so permanent and real. And we look around and we say, no, look at it's here. It's as tangible and as real as that tree. I grew it. This is the way the world is. It's just reality. And you can change the scene. You can plant new seeds. You can grow a new garden. You can pull out the plants that you want to consider weeds, right? The plants that are not bad or evil. It's like all plants are good, but the plants that are not in alignment with your vision garden, your vision life. And knowing that that vision life is okay for you to have, that you can have that life. And it's not just good for you, it's good for everybody. It's good for everybody in the whole world for you to get to have your vision life. Okay, when you feel that, when you believe that, then you can create it. You are the one in control now of this reality. You are the gardener. Okay, when you were a kid, yeah, you didn't have good staff on hand. You just had like an empty plot of really fertile land. And then it was just like whatever was thrown in there. It was like the universe's compost. It was like everything, the really nice organic heirloom tomatoes, and also like that kind of really annoying prickly weed that like sticks on everything when you walk through it. Like that's in there too, right? The universe is compost. Your like shit that your mother faced when she was growing up and her beliefs that she then subconsciously passes on to you unexpectedly, that then you just pick up on that, and then also the really good things as well about how you're amazing and life is great, right? All of that just goes into the garden when you're a kid. And so you pick up all of it and you have just this it's flourishing, whatever the combination of those things are. And either you love your garden and everything's great and your life is amazing and perfect now and you're happy and you feel fulfilled and you look around and you're like, oh my gosh, this garden's amazing. My life is amazing. Or you look around and you're blind to what's right here, and all you see is like a hubbub of weeds. It's all mashed together, it all blends together, and you like see it all the time and you look at it all the time. It basically becomes invisible, right? You're like, I see that, but not really because I just see it every day. It's like I don't even see it anymore. I'm basically blind to my life and I'm living on autopilot, right? It's like I'm walking in the same circle, in the same path every day, and I'm so used to walking this path, I don't even need to pay attention anymore. I'm just looking down at my feet. Doop, 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 doop. Okay? That's the kind of life that not-enoughness can create. And I know because I've lived that life. I have been so disconnected and blind to my reality before. I was fully disassociated from my body. It's like I wasn't even there. It's like my body was here and then I was 6 feet over to the right. Just like, I'm not even here. And that can be a result of not-enoughness. Not just the disassociation, but, when I did feel feelings, when I did experience my life, it was bad in there. It was so bad inside of me. That's why I disassociated. That's why I was far away from my body, also far away from my life. Because if I really stepped into my reality and saw the life that I was living, I couldn't even handle it emotionally. Felt so bad that I just kept pushing those emotions away, pushing my life away, and feeling like it was this looming existence that was out of my hands and out of my control. I was just going with the flow. I was just like going. I'm like, I'm going with this flow of life, but this flow of life is taking me somewhere really dark and really scary and really hard and really numb, being a zombie in my own life. It was hard. It was really, really hard in those days because I felt like there was nothing I could do about it. I had no power. I was powerless. And I kept letting life smack me around. It's like I was going down this river and like hitting a rock and hitting a rock and hitting a rock and hitting a rock, getting beat up, getting rolled around, getting tossed up. I'm like, oh my God, just end it. Just fucking end it. Get me off this ride. Until one day I got smacked into a rock so hard that the rock said to me, or no, I hit the rock so hard that I thought to myself, oh my gosh, maybe I should check and see if I have a paddle. And then I looked at my hand and I was like, whoa, I have this paddle. And it's up to me to decide to use it. I've always had this paddle. It was right here. I just didn't see it. Let me start to use it. And let me tell you, when I was beat up and disheveled and like bleeding and waterlogged and soggy and so hard to like paddle that paddle for the first time. Be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's like exhausting. You gotta pull your whole body up. You're beat up, you're down. It's the hardest time to do something you've never done before. But then you do it. You say, I need to, because suddenly my will to live is stronger than the call of letting go and giving up and dying. And so I paddled for the first time, even though it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. I made a new choice about my life in that moment. I took a new path. I made a new decision. Instead of being impassive to my life, I recognized that I was the one in control and I took a step. And that changed everything for me. It was learning to be decisive about my life and to move forward for me. Because before, when I was floating down this river, I was indecisive about my life. I wasn't choosing anything. Life was choosing for me. And you know what life was choosing? Life was like pushing me to choose for myself. So life said, I'm going to knock you down a peg and maybe you'll choose then. And then I didn't. And then life was like, okay, let me knock you down another peg. See if you choose then. No, you're not going to choose? Okay, here you go. 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 When are you going to choose? When are you going to make a decision about your life? Let me tell you, I didn't make a decision for a long time because I lived based off of should. I should be successful. I should make a lot of money. I should be happy. I should be the best. But that should wasn't me choosing what I wanted. And in fact, I had to get knocked down so far, so hard, being impassive and indecisive, that I had to be faced with my very own death in order to make a choice about my life. I had to face my very own death in order to make a choice about my life. And that choice was to live. That choice was to do something about it so I could live. And not just live this way I had been living, but to really live. It's different than just existing. It's different than just going with that impassive flow, walking in an endless circle like a zombie. It is choosing life. It is choosing this existence and it's going all in on it. It's expanding and growing into it, into the beautiful life that you are meant to live, the beautiful life that your existence alone creates simply by being part of this universe and part of this world because you are a seed. You are a seed and you are your own plant growing and expanding every single day, just like flowers, just like trees. And in fact, the moment that you were planted, you were already the perfect tree. You were already the perfect tree without having to do anything. If you plant an acorn in the ground, no matter what, it is going to become that tree. All it needs is nurture and care. So when you start nurturing and caring for yourself, choosing life, choosing to prioritize life and make it what you want to make it, make this life what you want it to be, then you create it. Then you create it. And the foundation of this comes down to clearing and releasing the seeds of not enoughness and instilling new abundance-based beliefs. Because when you plant these seeds of abundance, that is when you make that your reality. That's when you create that life. but it's up to you to put that effort in, to be the farmer of your garden, to plant the seeds and water them, and to keep watering them, and to keep taking care of them, and to stay committed to that forever. But not because you have to, but because you get to. You get to create this beautiful life. And that starts by recognizing that you are enough and that there is enough here for you, that you are meant to do this, that simply your existence alone is proof of worthiness. And you do that by clearing and healing and overcoming the seeds of scarcity that were already planted. That's the first step to growing a thriving garden, is clearing the land of what no longer serves you. Okay, that is a step, and that is why it is the first step on the path to creating abundance. It is surveying your land. It is seeing what exists within you and deciding what no longer serves and clearing it out. And that's exactly why it's the first 4 weeks of the Empowered Abundance program is all about bringing awareness to what is already in your garden, the seeds of scarcity that have been holding you back, bringing awareness to them so that you can do the work of healing and releasing them. So if you want to live a more full life, a more fulfilling life, a more abundant life, one where you are in control, where you are creating the garden that you want to create, you are consciously and intentionally creating the life you want to live, right? Stepping into that next level of abundance and fulfillment, then working really hard to like plant new plants and garden. If you haven't done the foundational work of tilling and clearing your current garden and really like tilling the soil, making it really fertile and beautiful and setting the stage for the garden you're growing, then it doesn't really work, right? Those old weeds are just going to get up on all your plants. It's not going to be the right condition. Some old tree is going to block the sunlight. It's like trying to plant a plant in a plot of grass. Have you ever done that before? Like you have to clear it out and get fresh dirt. So if you've been pushing for abundance, pushing, and you feel like no matter how hard you work or what you do, it's not working, it's because you have to go back to the seeds, right? That's the most important step. Okay, this is going in and seeing what are my current beliefs about the world? What are my current beliefs about money? What are my beliefs about my business? What are my beliefs about myself and how I show up and how I live my life? And what is fueling those beliefs? Is that rooted in abundance-based seeds or scarce-based seeds, rooted in not-enoughness? And if not-enoughness is moving your life forward, then you have to go back and start by overcoming the not-enoughness so that you can step into your fulfilling life. This is the missing piece. This is the foundation, and it is one of the key steps to living an empowered and abundant life. And that's the most important step that you can take, because without it, nothing else matters. So, the most impactful thing that you can do right now is start to notice where not-enoughness is showing up in your life, right? I described not-enoughness in this episode. I know you felt it in your body when you heard me describe it. Notice what that feels like. Notice what the thoughts and the beliefs of not-enoughness are. And when you see them showing up, notice them. Notice where not-enoughness is impacting you. Because guess what? You can change these thoughts. You can change these beliefs of not-enoughness. And when you do, that's when you instill the new ones of abundance. Okay? That's your first step. Notice not-enoughness. And if you are ready to go deeper to take this all to the next level, to not only do this first step well, and also do the next 4 steps on the path to creating abundance, then you can come and join the Empowered Abundance Program. Right now, enrollment is open for the next round of Empowered Abundance, and you are going to want to join this round, especially if this episode really hit you deeply. If you see the ways in which not-enoughness is the piece impacting you, impacting your money, impacting your ability to live your best life without money being the thing holding you back, this idea of I don't have enough money to live my life, then Empowered Abundance is for you, because we're going to do all this foundational work of clearing the seeds, clearing the doubts, and you're going to learn how to master your money, wield the power of your money to create the life that you want to live consciously, right? Like me and my journey of learning to consciously create my life and to do that from a place of enoughness. That's exactly what I teach you how to do in the Empowered Abundance Program. We begin April 24th. Be sure, if you are in on this round, to book your consult now, because this is a small group program, right? This is a small group program and spots will sell out. So if you are feeling the call to say yes to this next level work of clearing the seeds of scarcity for good once and for all, so you can live your most abundant life starting right now, the one where you're fulfilled and thriving, then this is how you will do it. And if you can have this now by doing this work, then why wouldn't you do it now? Okay? Now is the perfect time to start, because when you start now, you get to thrive for the rest of your life. You can book your consult by checking out the link below, or learn more at the Empowered Abundance Program at thebizhippie.com/abundance. Doors will be closing soon, so be sure to book your consult now. If you're ready to take control of your money, break free from scarcity, and step fully into your next level of abundance, then my Empowered Abundance Program is here to help you do exactly that. Inside, you'll learn how to transform your relationship with money, manage it with confidence, and use it as a tool to make your vision a reality. Head to thebizhippie.com/abundance to learn more and take the first step. And if you loved this episode, let's share this message with the world. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and pass it on to someone who needs to hear this. Until next time, here's to abundance.